hello, and welcome to the Council of Titos, the only podcast that we know of in the Philippines that talks about the reality TV show and social experiment that has been running for over 25 years, Survivor. My name is Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon.
And I'm Vice Chief Bisdak Jao Atienza. Hey, we're switching it up a little bit, just like
Yeah,
Survivor 50, switching things up just a
yeah,
little bit.
just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, we are here to talk about Survivor, especially season 50, episode 1, an episode called Epic Party. Right? But before we begin, please hit the like and subscribe button if you want to stay updated with our weekly excuse to catch up on this podcast. And also, of course, so that we don't get voted off the island. And so, without further ado, let's begin. I think that it's just right, Jao, that we start this first episode for season 50 with because we didn't do a single episode about season 49.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we need to make, just give a statement about what we felt, how we felt about season 49. How did you feel about season 49?
In the moment,
Mm-hmm.
it felt like obviously it was in the shadow of 50. But upon reflection, I think it is a solid season of Survivor that just happened to be um unfortunately placed right before 50, right?
That's right.
like like every if we weren't ostensibly spoiled by Savannah having won and all of that, like this would
Mm-hmm.
have been a really good season. Like Savannah's story from being like on the outs, eventually finding the Tres Leches
Mm-hmm.
alliance, and then ultimately winning it because Sophie Balerdi makes what I think is a game losing move and not using her knowledge as power.
Mm-hmm.
Like great story all around. It's just, you know, hindsight, right? Like it was good, but it was right before 50 and it was
Yeah.
practically spoiled.
Exactly. I think that it was the victim of CBS hyping up, and I've been talking about. We've been chatting about this. It's the victim of CBS hyping up 50 so early that 49 got lost. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have still. I think that it could probably still have been okay, even if it came
Hmm.
before 50. If only they didn't give us so many details about 50 way ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I suppose this is testament to like the Survivor fandom. Um, Fortunately or unfortunately, most of the stuff was already out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like who was cast, who wasn't cast, the snubs, the tribe divisions were
Yeah.
apparently already out there. The fact that there were two people from 49, one male and one female, and that two winners were on two different tribes, like it all kind of made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And this was all stuff that was, I guess, leaked. So, you know, CBS had to sort of get in front of it, I think, um, which is really to the detriment of 49.
49. Yeah. 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 And the discussion shifted from talking about 49 to like getting hyped up for 50 because of all of the details that the fandom also got a hold of, right? So, yeah, 49 solid. Yeah, in retrospect. But you couldn't really get excited about it while you were watching the episodes as they were unfolding, right?
Yeah, yeah. And you know, you know this, we come from the same university and we
Mm-hmm.
have this very strong sort of Brechtian tradition in our theater orgs.
Mm-hmm.
This would have been the perfect opportunity for a sort of Brechtian reading of Survivor, simply because we are removed from it emotionally, or we should have been
Mm-hmm.
removed from it emotionally, because we already kind of knew what was happening, and 50 was coming up to suck the wind out of Fortnite. But then that's just, and I don't know if I'm speaking for you on this. Survivor isn't something that I can um remove feeling from.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know?
I mean, it's a huge part of our enjoyment of Survivor. The fact that we're trying to figure out who's winning, the emotional roller coaster that we're on while we're watching the episodes as they come, right? It that's why it also makes sense as a non-bingeable uh, media, right? You
Right.
have to wait for it week after week so that emotion builds up again, tension builds up, and then you get to watch the episode, and then new emotions come up. Yeah, I'm with you with that. Yeah,
Yeah, so, it's like I can't turn the Brechtian part of my brain on when watching
yeah,
Survivor
yeah,
or something to that. Or my monkey brain like
hmm,
can't turn off when watching Survivor.
yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of like your monkey brain, I didn't cry at the beginning of 50.
No, me neither. Me neither. Of course, we're joking. Uh, that montage, that opening montage, my God. I mean, yeah, my note here is I had tears welling up in my eyes as I was watching it. That was such a beautiful montage. Yes, granted, I mean, they were able to get a lot of the. I mean, it goes back to what you were saying. Emotions, we can't detach from our emotions while we're watching Survivor. And even as we're like looking back at the past 50 seasons, 49 seasons, it's such a. All the emotions start coming back, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Um what was it? That that shot of Jenna Lewis
Mm,
right at the end of the beginning montage, that jump cut straight to the beach.
hmm.
Like that
Oof.
I felt things. I
Dude,
felt things I've never
yeah,
felt watching Survivor.
just remembering it right now in my mind's eye, I'm like getting overwhelmed with feelings. That was such a. I mean, yeah. Kudos to Survivor. They really pulled out all the stops in coming up with that opening montage. Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose we should get this kind of out of the way. Who are your winner picks? Who do you like?
Oh, well, this is something that. So I've got my favorites. Uh, so my favorites are. I actually like the makeup of the cast. That's my note on that. So my favorites are. They are also. Or are they? No, not really. One of them is a favorite of mine from the previous season that they were on. So it's Joe. I'm still high
I
on
knew it.
Joe. Yeah, and the other one is Jonathan because they're strong and they're honorable, right? And then Colby, sentimental because I
Hmm.
started watching Survivor with Australia. Right, I didn't
Yeah.
really watch Survivor season one. And yeah, but my actual winner pick, especially after watching the first episode, not prior to the episode, but after watching the first episode, is none other than Oscar.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I he's my winner pick because I want him to win. I want him
Okay.
to finally win.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
thing.
So that's like that's your heart pick.
Yeah,
And your
yeah.
head pick as well? Like looking at what's been laid out?
It's hard to think of a head pick. Why don't you say yours first while I'm thinking?
Um Genevieve, man. I really like Genevieve.
Mm,
Like
yeah, I like her.
ooh.
I like her. Yeah, I like her for winner too. Oh, who else? Who else? So she's your head pick or your heart pick?
Well, you know how like the sort of running gag with the Council of Titos is that we go for the most like Filipino adjacent
Mm-hmm.
sort of winner pick that we have here.
Mm-hmm.
That either makes it Christian Hubicki
Okay.
because he was allied with Gabby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And or Siri. I was listening to one of her like pre-game one of her pre-game interviews or whatever, and she said something along the lines of I am recently a grandmother, aka a Lola. And I was like,
Oh.
"Oh." oh, and then I realized she's a nurse. So, like 80% of her like colleagues are probably from the Philippines, so she had to
Mm-hmm.
pick that up, right? Like I'm pretty sure one of those like one of her colleagues are like, "Oh my God, you're a Lola na," something like that. So one of the two, right? Christian or Suri. But then realistically, I'm not sure that like they can win
Mm-hmm.
in a season like 50 where you know we're where we are looking to take out like the big threats,
The
you
threats,
know.
yeah.
Although this is actually one of the quote unquote reflection questions that I kind of prepared. Right,
Mm-hmm.
it was like, let's go to my teacher roots. Let's have some like uh reflection questions here. Um, but yeah, we'll get into that later. Um, but yeah, I'm really pulling for Christian Hibiki.
Hibiki.
Yeah.
Hibiki.
Um, Not sure if he has a good shot at winning, but I'm really pulling for him because he's just so much fun to watch.
True.
Um,
I mean
Realistically,
that eyeglass thing to come up with to make fire, right? I mean,
yeah, I used to like wonder, and I still kind of do. Why don't they like do that? Why don't they try doing that if they don't
if they
like
don't have Flint,
win
right?
the Flint, right? Like
Yeah.
I've seen it been done
Mm-hmm.
before. So like, they did it on Survivor prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
I see people with glasses on the beach all the time. Is it like a production mandated thing that like now that we have Flint, you're not allowed to rub two sticks together? Because I remember like the earlier seasons of Survivor, right? They had people rubbing sticks together,
Yeah.
doing the
The one
rubbing
that the one
the
that becomes like an arrow, like second bow,
yeah
right? Yeah.
yeah like can they not do that anymore,
I
or is it like the whole new era thing where um all of the old school players, like there was a bit of a dichotomy, and I think
mm-hmm.
like with the old school players looking to like build the shelter and get in there for the long haul, where folks like Savannah and Rizzo were saying that that's not how the new era works. It's
Mm-hmm.
26 days and everybody keeps moving around. Like it doesn't make sense to invest in putting up a good shelter for the long term because you're there for you know
Just like
in
probably what
yeah, yeah,
ten
you're there.
days.
Yeah, 10 days shorter. Plus, there's
Yeah.
probably going to be like some sort of swap or
Yeah.
whatever. So, there is that. My head pick has to
Mm-hmm.
be somebody from the Vatu tribe, Kyle's
Ooh.
tribe.
Ooh. Why is that?
Um, because because of how much emphasis they gave to Kyle saying somebody here win this for me or
Mm.
whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a winner quote,
Uh-huh.
basically.
Uh-huh.
It's I would imagine that like the editing of 50 would be a lot more straightforward,
Mm-hmm.
um, in the way that say like Australian Survivor or the Traders is, um, in that like we are looking to uh what do you call it? We're looking to get this to a wider audience.
Mm.
So, it has to be kind of laid out a little bit more clearly than say the Gabler
Mm-hmm.
season,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that's why my head pick is like somebody from that tribe,
Ooh.
which is why I'm saying
Who are those?
Genevieve. So
Genevieve, yeah.
that would be Angelina, Aubrey,
Mm-hmm.
Colby, Genevieve, Q, Rizzo, and Steph
Who's that?
Lagrosa.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
from that group, Mia Genevieve would probably be the best one. I mean,
yeah.
the best one to pick. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So she had, and like they're setting up. there was that scene that felt so out of place, but like they have
Hmm.
to be setting it up for, or they
Hmm.
have to be setting up something where it's like, I see you, girl, I see you.
Yeah,
It could have been like a callback to the Genevieve Rachel thing,
true.
but it probably makes more sense as them setting up some sort of conflict. And what could that conflict be? Fire, maybe. I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hmm.
Just before, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, now that I've had some time to think about it, my head pick is still Oscar.
Really?
Yeah, because we've always been
Wow.
talking about how the winner has to be someone, or we've been looking for someone with a lot of self awareness. And I
Mm,
think with all of the number, this is his fifth time playing, right?
yeah.
It's his fifth time playing, and all the four times that he played before, he always went the route of I'm a provider and
Mm,
I'm indispensable because of that.
right.
In his fifth, finally, in his fifth time playing, he finally gets it in his head that, okay, so the provider route does not get me a win. That's
Mm,
why I'm going to change it up. I'm now Oscar. I'm no longer Ozzy. I'm gonna wheel and deal. I'm not gonna rely on being a provider. I'm gonna go ahead and he did make a couple of he made a deal, right?
yeah.
He got the extra vote, and then the fact that it was Genevieve, right? What is Genevieve who sent him the Billie
Yes.
Eilish idol, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that he got that, they're gonna underestimate him. But if he
Mm,
plays his cards right, because of that new self awareness that he's got, I think that he can get far and possibly even win it all.
right. So it's like so it's like a sort of juxtaposition. Oh, yeah, I'm the juxtapotito. Dang. We haven't done this in some
Yeah, we
time,
have
huh?
not done this in some time.
Anyway, so there is that juxtaposition between Ozzy and Coach, right?
Mm,
The whole South Pacific like
yeah,
grudge match thing or whatever.
yeah.
And is what we're being told that Ozzy is sorry, Oscar
Oscar.
is is no longer Ozzy and like he's changing
Hmm.
and Coach is still Coach. Like
Yeah.
he's not Benjamin.
He's not Benjamin. Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like that. But I mean, we did see that. Who was that? Who alluded to it? It was Mike White, right? He said that he saw that coach got really perturbed when he came with the news that Ozzy was like really sore about what happened, and then claiming that coach has changed. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't know. I mean, he says that he plays with honor. Yeah. And it for me, I mean that's kind of a big thing right now with them. I mean, you've got Joe and Jonathan who have been honorable. Although Joe is saying that it's now Joe 2.0. They're all saying that they're all 2.0.
Yeah, this is now Council of Tito's like 4.0, right?
Yeah, something like
We should have
that.
started with that. Welcome to Council of Tito's 4.0.
4.0. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're all coming in with like newer versions of themselves, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's also because they didn't win it playing the way that they played in previous seasons. That's why they're
Mm,
trying to come up with new, and maybe some of them want some redemption, and I think that's the path that coach is trying to take, right?
yeah.
So that's that. Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
and
So
one castaway though that I think Jeff was trying to reclaim as you
mhm.
are a survivor, alum. You are not from anywhere else. You are a survivor, and that was Siri. I mean, he had to
Yes.
make that mention. Like, you are synonymous with Survivor, Siri. You're not synonymous, even though you won traders. You are a survivor. You're not traders,
Yeah.
right?
Even though your most recent reality show outing was Big Brother, Big Brother was it?
I think
Or
so. Yeah.
has she been on anything after Big Brother?
I don't know. I don't
Uh,
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, right. Question.
Mm.
Uh, which of the cast members surprised you?
In terms of gameplay or in terms of why are they there?
Anything really.
Oh, okay.
Right? Reflection
Um,
questions are open-ended, meant to generate discussion.
nice. Let me go over the list. Hmm. Because I think the reason that why they got Siri was so that they could claim Siri to be a survivor alum. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was that. Tiffany, probably.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, no? She seems like tremendously out of place. At least,
Yeah.
like I don't know. She seems the least all-star-ish out of
Yeah.
all of them. She had the lowest placement in her season. I can totally see that.
It wasn't like yeah, I mean Q has some very memorable moments in his season.
Hmm.
Jenna placed second. Charlie had that whole thing where where the entire nation, the entire world, most of the world thought he should have won.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
also second after Tiffany, maybe Angelina, because she didn't really do much except for that she was the first one who bargained with Jeff, right?
Yeah.
That was her quote
That was her
unquote
claim to
survivor claim
fame.
to fame. Yeah. Mike White is White Lotus, which the
He
which
has abs now.
the yeah, he has abs now. He has a six pack. Which the no buffs guys, was it the no buffs guy? Yeah, it was the no buffs guy said that it was the first time that realized that the reason why it's called White Lotus is because he's Mike White.
Well,
Yeah. So yeah, it's either Angelina or Tiffany, but it's more Tiffany, I would think, because she didn't really. I don't know. I can't remember anything that she actually did. Angelina, at the very least, she had that whole jacket thing,
yeah. Yeah.
and the first
She's
one to bargain, right?
yeah. And like she said that like she wouldn't have very much jackety antics this season, right? In one of her like preseason interviews. I don't know if I got that correct, but like I think she might have said something like that.
Yeah, she probably already
Uh,
brought her own jacket, a warm jacket this time, because I think that she had a jacket in her season, but it was just like one of those flimsy jackets that wouldn't do anything against really strong winds.
that's why they put her on the same tribe as Q. That way, like she
Oh,
can get a Q skirt.
mm-hmm. Oh, the Q skirt that Q paraded in that fashion show.
Yeah. I can't believe that they didn't like nobody mentioned that. That was such a great callback.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
to kind of name check the Q skirt, but oh well. It's one of those like if you know you know sort of things, you know?
yeah.
Those like with the Superman movie, a lot of little nods that like if
Mm-hmm.
you're a Superman fan, you'll get them.
That's what.
If
Yeah,
you miss it, it's absolutely fine.
yeah. And one of the another thing that was, if you know, you know, for me was D's mention for that sequence where she was like mentioning Coach's toe,
No, it's a ring,
right?
yeah.
Coach's toe ring, Coach's toes, and then Charlie's toes, and
Yeah.
then we do not get a shot of her big toes,
Yeah,
right?
even though that's like her defining well, it wasn't
Yeah,
her
well, she
defining event,
won.
but yeah, part she
Yeah,
won. She broke
she had
Austin's
really yeah.
heart. She had a
Uh huh.
showman's, but you know we remember that shot of her sticking her foot up in the air
Uh
and
huh.
like wiggling her big toe around, which was supposed to give us narrative justification for her holding on to that pole for the longest.
Exactly.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, and she was the one who mentioned the toes, but they never. Coach never tried to put the ring on her toes.
Yeah, it would have been funny, right? Coach tries to put the ring on her. Whoa, you have a big toe. Like, that's a secret scene. I know it.
Yeah,
Actually, talking about the secret scene, it kind of makes sense. It kind of works with your Oscar winner pick because the secret scene was Ozzy being awkward giving coconuts to people on the tribe.
Ooh, I didn't get to see the secret scene. All right.
Yeah,
So he's
yeah,
really trying to not be a provider.
yeah. Or at least that's what the show is trying to tell us. Because in in the secret scene, he was talking to Suri, and Suri was like, "We can't like hang out together too much.
Mm-hmm.
We have to go out and kind of make relationships."
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, while everybody else was sitting around on the beach, like Ozzy just shows up from like the bush and hands them coconuts. Like, oh, that's so, that's so Ozzy. It looked kind of like the that Homer Simpson like
The
meme
meme,
that
yeah.
yeah, like how Homer goes into the bushes, right? But if you like reverse it, that's exactly what it was, like Ozzy coming out of the bushes.
I'll have
What
to
would
check
have
it
been
out.
what would have been great though was if he instead of like giving everybody coconuts and making his presence sort of like known, was if he had done like a spy shack. But
Ooh,
unfortunately he didn't.
he's still
That
honorable. He's not. He's not. He's not a Tony Vlachos.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
Makes sense with your Oscar winner pick. The
Yeah. I
fact that
mean,
that
he
was the
can
scene that
use
was cut.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, they took it out so that he doesn't come off as like a as a provider. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I like the fact that he linked up with Siri, although they're trying to hide it, but the others still know or at least suspect, right?
Yeah.
That,
That,
that something's up. But yeah,
yeah.
because Siri is the social queen.
Yeah. But like Hibiki basically laid it out, right? In saying that like it's gonna be a messy vote or a dirty vote or whatever
Mm-hmm.
if they vote anybody else besides Jenna out.
Jenna. Yeah.
Right? Because like if they vote out Suri, then you piss off Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
If you vote out Ozzy, you piss off Suri. So
Mm-hmm.
like the cleanest vote was Jenna, apparently.
But now what happens, right?
Um,
What happens in their next tribal,
yeah, they're
whenever
gonna
that's gonna
start winning.
be. Yeah, because I mean, Q is like sorry, Kyle is a big. Uh, his tribe's gonna miss him a lot, right?
Yeah. Who do well, they have? They have Captain America in a fat suit, but then he's like,
Captain America in Endgame, in the end of Endgame.
yeah, yeah, he's Rizzo's dad.
Yeah,
I was
Rizzo's
actually
that.
really surprised by them, like Colby and Rizzo,
Mm,
and the little like relationship that they managed to kind of build. It was like I'm a sucker for narratives that have to do with like fathers and sons, right?
mm-hmm.
Something that has been very deep seated since I first read that Roald Dahl book about like um what was the name of that? Danny the Champion of the World or something, like this
Ooh.
guy and his dad hunting pheasants.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, so like that whole interaction was like the most wholesome thing, and it
Mm-hmm.
absolutely surprised me that like one of like as it stands right now, Kobe is the oldest
Yeah,
seasoned player, and the newest seasoned player, kind of were able to link up and hopefully form some sort of alliance. It shows
yeah,
growth on both their ends.
exactly. And they're both runners up,
Yeah, they are, huh?
right?
Yeah, both runners up to
Although, yeah, second. I mean, wasn't Rizzo like
fire,
didn't?
fire, fire. Rizzo lost fire, right?
Oh, why do I have it in my head that he was in Final Three? No, okay.
Because you
Anyway,
weren't paying attention in
yeah, okay,
49.
yeah, it just goes back to 49. Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, that I have that as a note here too. I mean, yeah, my eyes weren't welling up. in that scene, right? And it was also nice because they sort of set it up with Colby getting annoyed by Rizzo earlier,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, I had my first note while I was watching it. I was making notes. I was putting down notes. Colby, Rizzo is bleeping annoying as hell. And then my note is like, yes, Colby. A lot of us agree with that statement. And then later on, with after that second scene that they had, the scene that they had together, Colby wants to mentor Rizzo. I mean, I hope that he sets him straight, right? Set him straight. I mean, in terms of how he thinks. I mean, get him to mature. Because if you think about it, and Colby also mentioned this, wasn't he 25 when he did Survivor?
Yeah, the
And
first
then
time.
if you compare Colby at 25 and Rizzo at 25, Colby was so much more mature than Rizzo is now, right? It
Yeah.
sort of begs that comparison. But I also like the fact that he was open to mentoring Rizzo, and then Rizzo was open to being mentored.
Yeah. Well, you know the thing about Rizzo, and I think that in a way I've had students like him.
Mm,
I've had students like Rizzo, and so much of the time the students like Rizzo are a lot more mature than we give them credit for.
mm.
Like
Is
if
that so?
if you read Rizzo's background,
Mm-hmm.
first in his family to finish college,
Oh yeah.
like sort of immigrant parents that basically don't speak English. Like like this kid's been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had kids like that. And sometimes those are the kids that put on the really good like facade.
Mm.
And
Just because they don't want people to know really how bad that they've had it. Is that it?
yeah, something like that. Or I guess it's their way to sort of cope with, the complications of real life. Make it simple.
Mm-hmm.
R-I-Z-G-O-D, baby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like at least that's my read on Rizzo. I could be wrong. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
and he could just be like a typical Gen Z gooner or whatever. The
I mean, yeah,
I didn't mean that, but
yeah. We
yeah,
could have gotten like in his confession where he was like, "Oh, he's trying to mentor me. Okay, I'll use that." Right, but we didn't. I mean,
yeah,
he's got like this. What I felt was a really heartfelt uh, testimonial where he says that how else are you gonna learn but from those who came in before you, those who
right.
have gone through it.
Again, a very mature thing to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my read on him. I could be
Mhm.
wrong, but
We'll see. We'll see.
that
We'll see
yeah,
as
we'll
the episodes come along.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm another thing. I'm super happy for Emily.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Like this is her cast.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Because everyone is well, Jenna too much, but everyone is really like playing hard as early as possible. And that's what got her
yeah.
in hot water in her season, right? She was playing too hard right off
I
the
mean,
bat.
not only that, but like if Survivor is a lot about the social game, she really
Mm-hmm.
didn't have people on her tribe that she kind of clicked with.
Uh-huh.
But like it's laid out so perfectly for her with Christian Hubicki and Rick Devens.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sort of natural alliance that you
Sorry,
can
that's
just kind of
Kirk
see
and
come
Spock.
together. Yeah, fine, Kirk and Spock. And mm, who's the yeah, no,
She's Data. I don't know.
Data? Because when I
She's from the next from she's from TNG.
well, when I think of Star Trek, and I think of uh women, I automatically go to Captain Janeway.
Mm.
And she kind of got that same vibe,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she's Captain Janeway, but then, that was much later than like Kirk and Spock, right?
True. true. But yeah, Janeway is
But then
one
she
of
came.
the
But
like
then
the
she
iconic
did come
ones.
from a later season. So okay, cool.
Oh
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah.
works. It
It
works.
works.
You
It
know, it works.
works. Yeah.
She's Captain Janeway. All right, cool.
The Trekkie Alliance. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was. I'm so happy for her, man. Like she
Yeah.
finally has people that,
Yeah.
she's comfortable playing with. This is a really good cast for her. And it looks like everybody in the cast potentially has somebody that they can play with,
Mm. Right.
which makes it interesting. Like there are a lot of natural alliances that can kind of come together.
Yeah.
Looking at how the cast is sort of laid out. Hmm.
Okay. I just have it.
Tiffany though.
Tiffany is really out of place for me, unfortunately.
And maybe that's why she's the perfect casting choice.
Yeah. Put that like the random agent of chaos agent, right? But
Yeah.
she's not. Yeah, she's not.
You
Who
know,
did she? Who did Next On show? It was her and D, right? Oh no, it wasn't even on Next On. It was in the episode, right?
mm,
Her and D connected or something like that. Was it that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when we come to talking about our purple of the week, I think we kind of have an idea of who we're going to be, of the people that we're kind of going to be, talking about.
hmm
But like, I think that Tiffany has a real good shot here as well.
Really?
Yeah. Well, here's that reflection question that I was talking about earlier. Um, if you were playing in this season, would you care about making sure that the boot order is good?
I'm sorry. What was that again?
If you were playing in this season,
Uh huh.
right? Like, let's assume that you took like Tiffany's place or something.
Uh huh.
Um, would you have in the back of your mind um this desire for the boot order to be good, quote unquote? Like, we don't want to have Suri be first boot. That sort of thing. Like, would you be thinking about good television as well as good gameplay? And do you think, by extension, the rest of the cast has that idea affecting their gameplay?
Mm. Well, who was it who right before they went to tribal? It was also Hibiki, right? Was it Hibiki who said if we vote out Jenna, who wants to vote out someone from the first ever season? That last testimonial before tribal,
Yeah.
right? I think that it is at the very least in some of their minds like okay, there has to be like maybe seniority or seniority, no, not seniority, like significance to
Hmm.
Survivor will play into it, but I don't. That might also uh, play against those who are more significant to Survivor. Like I do think that Siri will not. It's hard for me to imagine Siri getting too far in the game because
Yeah.
they already know that Siri is a very dangerous player to get to sit beside. Right? Although she's never won. And
Yeah.
then because I mean, if Siri is in final tribal after
Just
being
give
on
it
it
to her.
so many times, yeah, just give it to her. She's been on it so many times. She quote unquote defected to other reality shows. She won in one other reality show, and then and yeah, there was that whole thing about them really sort of marking their territory. These guys are survivors, right? So yeah, that's give it to her.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what is
so nobody might want to bring her. So yeah, I get what you're saying that maybe Tiffany might get far because of the fact that okay, we need to take out the bigger threats in terms of like how they're known as Survivor legends, Right? She might like
Yeah.
go under. Yeah.
Yeah, like in a season full of legends, maybe the sort of quiet under the radar one, like this might
Mm-hmm.
be another Gabler season,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where the quiet under the radar player, but no, actually it's probably better described as um an Erica sort of season, right?
Mm.
Where somebody that goes kind of under the radar but still maintains good social connections ends up taking the game. But then the flip side could also be true. Like if you know how in basketball you have some of those players that like referees are kind of not allowed to foul out, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
that might make the under the radar player a little bit more um susceptible to like being a kind of consensus boot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we can't get rid of um Mike White, for
Mm-hmm.
example, right? Or we can't get rid of Coach
Mm-hmm.
for the same reason that like you couldn't foul out Carl Malone or like Michael
Mm-hmm.
Jordan. So we start looking at maybe Tiffany.
Yeah. The easy boot. I
Yeah, the
think that
easy boot.
yeah. Mm, now that I think about it, do you think that it's wise for her to have aligned herself with D?
Tiffany?
Because yeah, do you think
Meat
that she
shield.
can she can use D as a meat shield?
Yeah. I think um that's a pretty good move. Align yourself with the winner because
Yeah.
they're going to be on the chopping block before you in terms of like if we're doing triage on who to vote out,
Mm-hmm.
like I'd assume that the winners would be right up there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's like go Genevieve, you have the right idea. Like buddy up with Kyle because everybody knows that he's a winner and that's
Unfortunately,
unfortunately his Achilles heel was his Achilles heel.
his Achilles heel was Genevieve's Achilles heel.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think that that sort of answers one of the questions. I also have guide questions, reflection questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
From the
and
education industry. Let's
yeah, of
go.
course. The first question that I actually have was, who do you think Kyle's med evac affects the most? Yeah,
Genevieve.
it's
I
Genevieve, right?
mean,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, but then I can also kind of see um I can see it affecting Camilla,
Hmm.
right? Camilla is going to feel a lot freer,
Oh.
right? Because like one of the things that was the point of discussion was Kyle is known for Kyle is known for winning Survivor 48 and
Hmm.
Camilla is known for being like his tightest ally.
Yeah.
So, they were basically like a pair and that's kind of the enduring image from 48. So, if I was gonna predict if they were to end up in a tribe together, like one of them had to orchestrate or at least be like a big part of voting the other one out for the sake of
Hmm.
their game.
True.
And like it would be better for Camilla if she were the one to do it to Kyle if they ended up on the same tribe, which is a moot point at this
Yeah.
point. But yeah, so it's going to affect Camilla. Um, she's going to be able to like you know blossom. She's going to
Hmm.
be able to become the butterfly that
Yeah.
she could have been in 48 if it wasn't for all of the honor, integrity, and also kind of being like chained to Kyle in a way, you know.
True.
So, um, if the Sela tribe has Emily becoming, like transforming into the survivor player that she's more comfortable being, the version of that on the Kalo tribe is Camilla,
Camilla.
and that is due to, sad to say, um, Kyle getting medevaced.
Yeah. They it was just because it was because they found like that dark spot, right? That's why that they really thought that it was more serious than it seemed because Kyle was
Mm.
able to walk around already.
Yeah, but that's the thing with the Achilles tendon, right? Like it stops hurting after a little bit, but then like the more you exert it, like the worse it's going to be once the sort of full consequences are consequenced.
Hmm. Oh, okay, okay. Now it's got me thinking. I might need
Supposedly.
to have my foot checked.
Were you playing
Anyway,
basketball and somebody
I've
broke your
been playing.
ankles
Yeah.
with a sick crossover?
If I break my ankles, it's because someone broke my ankles. Uh, yeah, but yeah.
That's what they call it, right? Like if people do like really cool if basketball
Mm,
players do really cool crossover moves and stuff, they're like
yeah,
breaking ankles. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I had a friend who like I think it was a yeah I think she tore her Achilles in dodgeball
Oof.
because of a wrongly timed turn.
Yeah.
Just like remember if you remember Samurai X or Rurouni Kenshin, that's what one of the things that Kenshin did to one of his bigger opponents. He kept
Mm.
on moving forward and backward around him, so that
Yeah.
his opponent had to twist. Anyway, we're starting to
Yes.
digress as we often do. Uh, so yeah, Kyle's Medivac, uh, and one other possible Medivac. Although he's my winner pick, is Oscar because they focused on his back pain twice
Yeah, they
in
did,
the
didn't they?
episode. Yeah, first in that when he was like way up there in the gate with his limp, uh, with that limp bamboo pole, and
Mm-hmm.
then in the challenge he had to like step aside and like try to stretch his lower back. So yeah, that might be another medivac, although hopefully it's not. It might just be the same things that I go through, so he can
Yeah.
still walk. Yeah.
You
Again,
just
he's not gonna be a provider. He's not gonna be able to like go up trees anymore because of his bad back.
yeah, he becomes relatable.
Yeah.
Or they could be setting up like a young versus old sort of thing going on.
Ooh.
Or a young versus old sort of situation where Ozzy is like, okay, everybody over 40 with me, you know, and like everybody else.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, speaking of, I was kind of hoping that supplies challenge was gonna be among the older guys. I thought Colby was
Mm,
gonna volunteer.
yeah,
So it would have been Colby, Coach, and Ozzy, right?
yeah,
The old guys who were famous back in the day.
yeah. Q felt like such a third wheel. It was so funny. It was like, it was just like,
Ozzy and Coach
uh,
were having a moment, and like Q was like, "All right," he was there.
which is a really interesting place for Q to be in. Honestly,
Mhm.
like that really wasn't how I ever imagined him being portrayed. Right? He was always portrayed as sort of the guy that steals the show, the center of attention and all of that.
Mhm.
But then in that particular interaction, he was just like, uh,
Yeah, that's the thing. That was a lot of fun to see. Right.
yeah, it feels like I don't know, it feels like the Avengers Endgame of
Which part of it?
Survivor, like this
Oh,
season on the whole,
mm,
right? Like I
mm,
suppose the previous returning seasons, like the full returning cast seasons, felt like Avengers movies, but
mm-hmm,
then like this feels like Avengers Endgame because it's got,
It's sort of like
theoretically
a celebration
of
of
everything,
everything.
you know.
Yeah, you're right. You're
And
right.
like that's part of what made the Colby Rizzo like interaction really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Again, like you, I started watching season the Australian Outback
Mm. Yeah,
season, I think.
that's season two.
Yeah, yeah. Did I watch the first season live? No, I think I like watched reruns of it or something.
Mm.
But like, yeah. So it was literally like the first and the most recent that I sort of saw kind of interacting with each other. Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
I'm not
It's like
crying.
it's like Iron Man and what was the most recent?
Spider Man. Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, but then um, I suppose it would have been like Iron Man and Captain Marvel interacting because that was like the first and like the
Oh
one right
yeah,
before Avengers
yeah.
Endgame. So, and I have no idea why I was able to pull that thing out of like the depths of my memory.
You're an MCU fan, man.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, yeah. Supplies challenge. That was. Oh. What did you think about that? That the whole thing, like Coach stealing the the key from under Ozzy's nose.
Yeah. Again, it's
You think he was justified?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
He
mean,
made no. He made no agreements, right? He didn't
yeah,
take part. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's Survivor, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
Survivor. It's kind of like that movie the Purge. It's kind of like the Purge. Like real
Mm.
life rules don't exactly apply here, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more id driven, if you will,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like you're given permission to do away with your super ego when you play Survivor. So, there's that. Um,
And yeah, we have seen a lot of winners who basically are not really like that in real life, but they
hmm,
it playing Survivor gives them the excuse to say, for example, like who was the one that Colby lost to?
um,
Uh,
oh, I can imagine her.
yeah, she was also a nurse, right? Uh, was she? But yeah, I mean, she said that I'm not really like this in real life, but I have to. But being in Survivor, she's able to lie. Yeah, there's sort of that,
Yeah,
and that might create another dichotomy. Like the people who use Survivor, who thinks that it's excusable to give in to your id in Survivor, and then you've got the Joes, the Jonathans, and the Colbys, and
yeah,
the Oscars on the other side, all
yeah.
of whom were sort of like strong guys at one point in their Survivor careers.
The Super Ego Alliance.
Yeah. Do you think that the fact that they were strong or are strong gave them that excuse to okay, I want to play honorably because I'm strong anyway, right?
Very very old school Survivor. No,
Yeah.
nah. We're gonna keep you around even though you're not playing the best because we're stuck here for like a month
Yeah.
and we need you to fish.
But then again, the Jonathan 2.0 says he's not going to just be a muscle.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that Survivor didn't paint him as that. Like the first episode didn't
Mm.
paint him as like Thor. Like people did mention it, but he didn't have the person the man that they objectified was Mike White. You know,
And
not
he likes it.
yeah,
He likes it. Yeah.
not Jonathan Young. It was Mike White that were they were
Hmm.
like, oh, you know,
Yeah. The pasty guy with the abs now.
yeah,
Right? Imagine if Cochran also came back and he also has abs.
yeah.
So
Or
yeah,
like
so
imagine Jonathan coming back and
mm.
he's and he has like a beer belly. Eh?
Thor in Endgame, at the start of Endgame.
Hmm. So what we're saying is that in the middle of the season, during one of the rewards, we're going to see Fat Jonathan.
Uh-huh. We are. We are. That's what's gonna happen. So who's Thanos?
Jeff.
Jeff? Oh, this is one thing this is another question I have. How do you feel about the Billie Eilish idol?
It's cool.
Yeah, right. It's a different, it's a new thing.
Yeah.
We've never had something like this before, right? Oh no,
I
we've
mean
had it
we
in Heroes versus Villains,
yeah, and
something like that.
in the in more recent season, uh where what is I can remember in which order the Marvel movies came out, but I can't remember the names of people in Survivor. Um, there was the idol that Saul sent over to um the winner of that season, right? There was the idol that like Saul found it or something, and like he sent it to Rachel, and that was what saved Rachel for that one round, and she
Oh yeah, yeah,
eventually
yeah,
ended up
yeah,
winning.
yeah. And we were like, okay, yeah. So Rachel now owes Saul or something, but she never really knew that Saul was the one who sent it to her.
Yeah, like it has that sort of vibe to it.
Hmm.
Like you can use it in that same way, but then there's that additional kink where you can also kind of send it to somebody that you think is going to get voted out with an idol in their pocket. Like if
Hmm.
Billie Eilish really did come up with this, mad respect.
Hmm.
You know, I
Yeah,
found it funny. It was like,
they should
"Hi,
have.
I'm
They
Billie
should have
Eilish,"
like
but
what? I'm sorry.
like the note, right? Hi, this is Billie Eilish, or I'm
Yeah,
Billie Eilish.
it would have been nice if they actually recorded her doing it and they put it over, like they had an overlay of her like uh, writing it or something like that.
Yeah. Uh,
Who knew Billie
I,
Eilish Survivor fan?
I, I, I wouldn't know. I mean, like,
I found out that she was a Community fan. No, not Community. The Office fan. Like
yeah.
she was a fan of The Office. Like she one time she interviewed Dwight, the guy who plays Dwight, uh,
Mm.
and she was like fanning over him.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, all things considered, right? Billie Eilish is a fan of really cool things.
Yeah.
You know, like I like her taste in music.
Mm.
I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the music that she makes, but I like her taste in music. You know, I'm not I'm not a 17-year-old girl. Although I do, although I do respect like the music that she does make.
Uh-huh.
It's just one of those things that like it's not for me,
Yeah.
like Olivia Rodrigo, you're cool, but you know,
Yeah.
I can't relate to that driver's license song or whatever it is.
Yeah. Of course, Olivia
Um,
Rodrigo. Uy, Philippines.
Wait, Philippines. And like Billie Eilish, I know that you have that song where you're talking about the teacher that you have a crush on. Yeah, I'm on the other side of that. So like, I can't get
Yeah.
um but um it makes me wonder, yeah, like if it was, if she is actually a Survivor fan or if this was just something that like her agent put her up to, right? Like, oh, this might be good for this might be good for you when you start looking to capture the middle America mom demographic with your music, right? Like, you know, it. could be something like that.
Yeah, it
Maybe if
might be a
she put
strategy.
down,
Yeah.
maybe if she put down a couple $100,000, Sia style, then we can talk. Um, but like if she did come up with the boomerang idol, good. Like, it's better than knowledge is power. Or not,
Yeah.
not knowledge is power. It's better. It's like knowledge is power. It's better than that stupid game of chance that they had.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, do or die. That's
Do
what
or
they
die.
called it.
Do
Do
or
or
die.
die. Right.
Which leads me to ask: do they still have their, what do you call it? The dice that they have?
The shots in the dark. The
Yeah, the
shot in the
shot in the dark.
darks. Supposedly.
Yeah,
I mean,
it didn't come up in, because, yeah, maybe because it's weird. Yeah, it's weird that it hasn't come up.
yeah. Well, mm,
We'll see.
if anybody's gonna come up with something or with an interesting way to use the shot in the dark, it's going to be from this cast.
Yeah,
And if this cast can't come up with something cooler than what they did in was it 48? I can't remember. Somebody did something cool with a shot in the dark fairly recently. If this cast can't come up with it, then it's time to old Yeller the shot in the dark and take it to the shed and like
true.
put it out of its misery. Although, yeah, I guess it could be because it incentivizes blind sides, but sometimes you kind of want to have the situation where you have to put down somebody gently because like they kind of know that they're screwed and there's nothing they can do about it. Like that was something from old school Survivor that, kind of missed in a way.
Yeah,
Andy tried to do something like that, backfired spectacularly.
backfired. Any other questions for reflection on your side?
um yeah, so like there have been a lot of seeds that were planted.
Mm-hmm.
Which are you looking forward to kind of seeing where they go? So like for me, the Genevieve Aubrey thing.
I was actually also thinking that that is going to be interesting in how they differ that from the Genevieve Rachel thing.
Yeah.
And because I think that both are really strong strategic players, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so much so that who was Genevieve trying to align with again? Theory as well,
Kyle.
right? She was trying. Yeah, yeah, they're in the same tribe, right? No, no, they're
No,
not.
no, no, no. No, Genevieve's closest ally was Kyle.
Kyle and who was, yeah, they had some, yeah, but she said that, okay, can you be my social, because she couldn't do social, that's why
Yeah.
she wanted to be with Kyle.
Yeah.
They're both very strategic, Aubrey and
Mm.
Aubrey and Genevieve. So is it Genevieve and Rachel 2.0? Is that gonna have a 2.0 as well?
Or is Genevieve 2.0 basically Aubrey 3.0?
All these point O's.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Why
that
why
really
can't
is.
why can't they be like, why can't they be like, Savannah 1.1, right?
Mm.
Like
Because that's
an
like how,
incremental.
like in computers, like it's not 2.0 right away, right?
Yeah, I would assume that if you were somebody like Savannah, if you were Savannah, if you were D, and if you were Kyle, you
Mm.
wouldn't say that you were Savannah 2.0, D 2.0, or Kyle 2.0 because that indicates a major revision in the software. Now, if you're coming from like a fairly recent win,
Mm-hmm.
you might not want to change too much about your game, so I guess it could be like Savannah 1.1, or like D 1.5.
Yeah. D hasn't, has she hasn't really had a lot of testimonials yet, right? Or
No, she's
confessionals,
not really, not really.
right?
That's what's kind of. kind of shocking in a way. Like one of
Hmm.
the things that surprised me about a player was just how under the radar D is being portrayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's her strategy.
Maybe. Maybe. And
And speaking
then
of, mad respect for Savannah, like, just saying like, yeah, I won.
yeah.
You know? And then, that kind of undercuts Jenna in a way,
Mm.
right? Because, Jenna was the winner killer, right?
Yeah.
But
The
then to
erstwhile winner killer.
but then Savannah
Yeah.
coming out and saying, "I'm like, yeah, I'm not, I don't really care."
Would
Like,
they have would the other castaways have gotten to that conclusion on their own though? Would they have noticed that, oh, we've actually been uh equally distributed. We've got one strong guy, new strong guy, we've got an old strong guy, we've got winners in each tribe. Right? Would they have you think they would have gotten to that conclusion themselves? That, oh, so we should have a winner in our tribe. And the only one we don't know is this girl, Savannah.
yeah, like they actually mentioned that in their preseason press. I'm shocked that CBS allowed them to even mention that.
Mm.
But like, of all people, it was Colby
Uh-huh.
that
Oh.
mentioned, right? Because I think one of the Rob has a podcast guys. Um, what's his name? Gosh, Mike Bloom. Mike
Mm.
Bloom went out to Fiji and interviewed them, right? And
Oh,
when he was
wow.
asking them, like one by one, uh, who, what do you think of this person? What do you think of this person? What do you think of this person? It's like, what do you think about the 49ers? It was Colby that said, like, yeah, we all kind of know that the female won because of, you know, or something like that, because of the way the tribe, not the way the tribe shaped, because of um or what he said he we basically knew that one of them won
Oh, okay.
or
Yeah.
something like that, right? Because of how the tribes were or basically basically what we were all thinking
Yeah.
when the cast was initially leaked, and Hibiki pretty much said the same thing. um he said that, like, if you look at the players here, you see that there are three of every archetype, or
Mm.
more or less three of a certain archetype, and the only archetype that they have two of is a winner. Therefore, right, one of them has to be
Yeah.
a winner.
Yeah.
And so, like, Hibiki kind of clocked it as well. And the thing that I really love about what Hibiki was saying in his preseason interviews is that Survivor is a game of narrative warfare,
Ooh, ooh. Okay, that actually makes sense.
right? And I think, like, we kind of circle around that kind of idea as well, right?
Yeah.
Like what wins Survivor is, of course, the social game, but the social game um is built through stories,
Mm.
you know. But then, like, also being able to kind of take control of narratives,
Mm-hmm.
can sway votes in certain ways. Um, and so you have the failure of that in Jenna trying to spin the narrative of Suri being the biggest threat
Mm-hmm.
and should therefore be the one that's voted out.
Mm.
Like, um, when she first did this sort of thing, it was a little bit easier because people were already kind of gunning for Tina Wesson.
Mm. There you go,
Remember her name?
Tina.
Yeah, people were already kind of gunning for Tina.
Mm-hmm.
So, she was just giving everybody an excuse to follow through with that. And so in that case, um kind of the narrative coincided with what everybody else was kind of feeling. And the failure here was Jenna failed to spin that narrative properly, I guess.
Yeah.
And Christian was
Or
able
production
to.
said, no, Siri is Survivor. We can't have her voted out in the first episode.
That's I was actually thinking that she would be like a very early boot, Suri,
Mm,
simply because she's Suri. But then when you look at the rest of the cast, you can say the same thing about all of them,
yeah.
right? Like,
Except for Tiffany.
except for Tiffany. Therefore, Tiffany is winning Survivor 50.
Let them kill each other. And then Tiffany rises.
Although it would be cool if D won, another two-time winner
Hmm.
that speaks Spanish.
The new queen.
Yeah, the new queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that we've come to the point in our podcast to welcome back a part of our podcast in previous iterations. And it is, of course, none other than the one, the only, Martin's Thoughts.
Hello, everyone. This is Martin with Martin's Thoughts, and we are back with season 50 of Survivor in the hands of the fans. General thoughts here for me is I kind of am a bit okay with the fans' suggestions or their votes. Like, they made the players earn it for the rice and the tribal supplies for episode 1. The idols, ironically, 80% of them said yes. But what I like about the results that we have so far is the final vote reveal. Like, for the final episode, they will move it to Los Angeles. So we'll have everyone, I'm hoping that means everyone in this cast, will be there for the finale. Unlike the last few seasons of the new era, the only ones who were there are obviously like up to the first juror onwards. The rest, the pre-jurors, they're gone. They're gone in Fiji. That's it. So I'd be glad to see, like, yes, Jenna Lewis back. I'd be glad to see Kyle back because, like, dude, it'd be nice to have their thoughts, not just like the last 10 people's thoughts. Because imagine if we had Jelinski on that finale like a few seasons back. That would have been several times better, right? I would have loved that. Uh, Speaking of the first one out, it really felt like there was no chance for Jenna to like stay. Okay, so if they would have voted out Suri eventually in the next tribal council, would have been Jenna. She was so off the wall already, like very aggressive with getting people out. Suri, in fact, her pre-show interview was like about getting out the winners. And hey, guess what? There's a winner in your tribe, right? There is. How do I say this? This lady, the newbie, Genevieve. Oh wait, no, that's not Genevieve. It was Savannah. There you go, Savannah, like the last winner of the last season, 49. So how about that, right? I kind of feel bad that they were the ones who lost because they have a very solid team. They had Ozzy, they have Joe. Like, ignored that Suri bombed in the last challenge, but I think that's it. That's a fluke. This was a solid group. Jenna, I'm sorry you're out. And speaking of a more solid group, Vatu. Dude, they basically have a good all around cast with Kyle, Q, Colby, the Riz Lord. You know, they also have Angelina, Stephanie. I'm pretty sure that this group would have run roughshod and demolished the other tribes had Kyle not have been medically evacuated. I'm sorry, Jonathan and Mike White with that six-pack of abs. But since Kyle is out, I think everyone else has a chance now. So, yeah, it's a very evenly distributed tribe right now going into episode 2. And I'm still rooting for my boy, the coach, to win this season. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But speaking of dragon slayers and the coach slaying his first dragon, which was Ozzy or Oscar, man, I am very excited to see how that confrontation is going to happen in episode 2 when coach has been defamed or has been slandered, quote unquote, by Ozzy. But that's really what happened, right? He stole Ozzy's key. That was supposed to be Ozzy, but he did a finders, keepers, losers, sweepers kind of thing, and he did what was necessary. So maybe the coach we'll see here is like South Pacific coach. To me personally, that's kind of cool because I kind of enjoyed that coach version compared to the original one in Tocantins and the kind of guy with a crybabyitis in Heroes versus Villains who was punked out by, Sandra and company. That wasn't a good look on coach. But I doubt he'll be cult leader coach like South Pacific. Maybe a bit of, he'll do something smarmy, he'll do something heelish or a bad guy kind of type vibes. That'll be nice. And I think I've talked way too much in Martin's thoughts. So I'll just leave you guys with this quote. Woo woo woo, you know it. Thanks, guys.
And there you have it, Martin's thoughts.
It was a little bit longer than his old Martin's thoughts, eh?
Yeah. Well, we did only give him one prompt. Just random thoughts.
And well, he does have quite a lot of thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
He should probably join us again. That way we can
Yes.
be the Council of Titos 5.0.
Yeah. Or 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5 there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then maybe 4.5 is the Council of Titos version that has Martin's thoughts as a recorded thing.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So this is 4.5. And then when he finally comes back, not if, when he finally comes back, it will be 5.0.
Yeah.
All right. So let us go ahead to what it should have been. So the title for this episode was Epic Party. What do you think? What other titles do you have in mind for the episode?
You know those situations where you can just kind of like throw a rock and it's
Uh-huh.
gonna land on something. Like you can just basically do that with this. Like part of why these players are all stars is because they all know how to make a good soundbite.
True. True.
So like I I guess I can't have an official. I guess he has abs now, I guess.
He has abs. All right. Yeah. Well, I did have something picked out, although it was offered as a title for the season. And it comes from RIZGOD baby. He said Survivor in the hands of the fans? No, it's Survivor. Welcome to the bloodbath. So I would think welcome to the bloodbath. That is my
Yeah,
that is
that
what I
was
was
good.
that's my offering. So yeah.
That guy's a quote machine.
He
Rizzo.
is. He is.
Yeah.
He's less annoying in this season so far than he was in 49. We'll see how that ages.
All right.
Although, where did I hear it? I think I heard it or I read it somewhere where he actually said he's not going to mention Riz God as much for the season. He's just going to be Rizzo. So he's
Yeah.
basically Riz God 2.0.
Or
Right.
like Rizzo 1.0.
Rizzo 1.0. Yeah.
Yeah. The beta release of Rizzo.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or Rizzo 2. I don't know. I don't know. Riz God is abandonware along with like the original Doom or whatever.
True. Okay, now next we've got next week the oh sorry, not next week. The next episode's title is Therapy Council. Who do you think? Whose line is it?
Therapy council. Who's going to
No,
tribal
sorry,
council?
Therapy Carousel. Sorry, not
Uh,
Council. Carousel. Therapy Carousel.
this sounds like something Aubrey would say.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Aubrey.
All right. For me, I'm going to go with Coach. I think that he's going
Oh,
to talk about how his beef with Oscar has affected him. Yeah. And
yeah.
then it leads to someone else sharing. And then it's like it becomes a carousel where, they're just comforting each other.
Or
Yeah.
that it could also be a Christian Hubicki line.
Oh, that's
Like,
another, he's another quote machine.
yeah, yeah. His contention was like when looking around, you can see that that CBS purposely casted narrators,
Mm,
and he was like self-aware enough to know that that was going to be his role in Survivor 50. He was going to be one of the narrators of the season. I guess like along with, somebody like Mike White.
Mike White, naturally.
I can't
Who's,
remember who he said the third one was, probably like Devins or something.
yeah, we did see it.
Yeah.
Devins was sort of like the narrator of his tribe.
Does Devins know
Well,
that Savannah also worked as an anchor, or like a
I
news
don't
anchor?
know. That's probably something that they can bond
Yeah, because
over.
like his first line to her was something along the lines of was him being like an anchor or something, like him getting into his anchor character, or am I like
Mhm.
hallucinating that?
He did have a couple of. One was a confessional where he did the dun 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 or something
Yeah.
like yeah, and then he had another one. I only remember him doing it twice. I don't know if one of those was with Savannah.
Well, I guess I'm
Yeah,
just hallucinating that.
or maybe I just have
Survivors
really
of the
bad
week.
memory.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Let's go with survivors of the week. Who's your castaway of the week?
uh, that's a tough one, dude. Like, take your pick. Hubicki. Hubicki. He saved
Yubiki.
Serene.
Hmm. He saved Suri. He got them fire, basically, right?
Yeah, he got them fire. He did the cool thing with the puzzle. Does anybody understand? I don't know. And he had that line, "I have a son now.
Yeah. My son is my
Someday,
superpower. That was it.
someday he's gonna watch this. He's gonna see this." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
So yeah, for Vicky, that's a good pick. Yeah. For me, it's still in the same tribe. I've got. Well, I did say that he's my winner pick. Oscar. He
Yeah,
finished the
good pick.
episode with two advantages, and despite the fact that he gave up the flint, it didn't affect his tribe because they've got your castaway of the week. Chibiki gave them fire.
Yeah.
They still don't have a pot though.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah. Although there's something circulated in online where I think there was an editing error. They
Hmm.
showed a scene of Ozzy walking to camp, and on the lower right corner of the screen, you can see that they have a pot.
Okay, okay. I mean,
Didn't really affect the narrative,
yeah.
the story of the episode, but yeah, the you
And
got
they
all
don't
of
they
these.
don't have res, so it probably doesn't affect gameplay either.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's Castaway of the week. Who's your goat of the week?
mm, I was gonna say Ozzy
That's fine. I mean, yeah.
because he got the key stolen from him. It was like,
Mm,
yeah, yeah. He kind of, he had a he and coach had a miscommunication, and he ended up on the wrong side of it.
yeah. And he had to stay in exile.
Yeah.
So you think exile is gonna be there the entire season?
Uh, maybe that's like the final twist, right? Like right at the very end.
Yeah.
It was like, turns out Jenna was on Exile Island this whole time. Everybody, like everybody, that was booted out, like
Mm-hmm.
instead of getting booted out, and instead of calling it like redemption or whatever, they call it Exile Island, and then they all come back at the very end.
That would be interesting. I mean, it's a returning season, so you kind of don't want them to go out right away. Right?
Yeah.
You want them to have that window of opportunity of getting back into the game. Yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah, that's nice.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, goat of the week. While I love her to death, is Suri. I mean, for me, it should have been her. She should have been voted out. She
Mm.
bombed that. She bombed that immunity challenge. she
Yeah. The
she's
yeah.
lucky that Yubiki is there. Both Oscar and Suri are lucky that Hibiki is there. Hibiki saved her,
Yeah.
and
It
Hibiki
was
got 5.
weird, man. It was weird because three. I can see why I can see your sort of train of thought here because one, it's kind of difficult not to see a train, and second, like she seemed resigned, almost resigned to her fate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it we didn't see like a scene of her being like, yeah, we get through this, and we didn't see her do her Suri magic
Yeah.
to get herself out of that situation. So I can see why. Um, yeah, I can see why you'd have her as the go to the week
Mm.
because she's being dragged
Uh.
to the end by Christian.
So yeah. So is that our final three? Oscar, Christian, and Suri.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be averse to that. Purple of the week,
Uh, Tiffany.
Tiffany.
D maybe.
Mm. Maybe D
Uh,
because of the fact that she is such a magnanimous character,
mm-hmm.
right? That for her not to have a lot of screen time, and one of the scenes that she was in, they neglected the fact that she was mentioning something that she's known for,
Yeah.
her toes. Yeah.
Uh, Chrissy.
No, but Chrissy had that whole scheming thing with Coach,
Yeah,
right?
it wasn't much though.
Versus
But
D.
then, yeah, yeah, it's Tiffany.
Mm.
Angelina, maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, but it's Tiffany. Tiffany.
It's Tiffany, really. It's Tiffany.
It's Tiffany. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts?
Uh, great start. Great
Mm-hmm.
start. I hope they keep it up.
Yes, sir. We
And
hope that they do
the
keep it up.
thing that I find so interesting about this is that the theme of the season is in the hands of the fans, yet it feels like the theme is the least consequential thing.
Mm. Yeah, because I
Like,
mean, all of the choice. Maybe it's also because we already know the choices of the fans.
no, I like, I think that the cast is just so good that it doesn't matter what happens.
Mm.
Like, the vote just doesn't matter
Yeah.
because, like, we're gonna get a great season anyway.
Yeah. Whatever you throw at them, they're gonna be able to work their magic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it should have been Survivor 50. Mr. Beast comes to play.
Yeah.
You think that aside, so we already know that Mr. Beast is coming to the auction, I think.
Yeah.
And Billie Eilish has an idol.
Yep.
Do we see any other celebrities uh being part of this season?
There were two more that were mentioned, right? Jimmy Fallon and another guy.
Oh, there were. Dude, I've been so disconnected from Survivor.
Yeah, it was like there was like a press release or something.
Oh,
I think, but
so it's Fallon's thing.
I don't know. Yeah.
Laugh as hard as you can and you get a prize. I don't know.
We also know that, and I guess this is also a celebrity, Applebee's.
Applebee's is back. Too bad. What was her name? She the one who got mad.
Liz
Liz.
Wilcox.
Yeah. Too bad she's not in
Yeah,
the season.
yeah, she's pissed.
Yeah, she's pissed.
Well, she is in this season, right? She had that one moment there.
Exactly that exact moment. I'm pissed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
well,
a
yeah,
way
great
to.
start. Great start. Hopefully it goes higher in the upcoming episodes, or if it stays in this level. Right?
Yeah,
We've had seasons where they start out strong and then they taper off,
yeah.
and we've had seasons where they start out slow, which is why in recent Council of Titos seasons we've actually waited until after the third episode. But this episode was just too good for us
Yeah,
not to start off after the first episode.
man. After that Banu, after the whole
That was
Banu
the
thing,
one.
like okay, yeah, those initial like episodes could have been an email, you know.
And the end is like, oh, and by the way, Banu's out. Okay, yeah, cool. All right.
All right, now we can watch Survivor. One episode would have been good. One episode would have been
Yeah,
good. But I
yeah.
guess they needed to show like Kenzie.
Mm. The depths that Kenzie has to climb out of.
Yeah, yeah. And they needed to brand her the mermaid dragon, and there was no
Yeah,
way that that was gonna work if we didn't see how weird Banu is.
yeah. And look at that. I mean, several seasons after, we're still talking about Banu.
Yeah,
Still
man, he
hasn't
did.
captured a million hearts, but yeah,
Yeah. But he's certainly captured a million headspaces because here we are still talking about
exactly, exactly.
him.
All right. So that's it for this episode of the Council of Titos. Again, please hit the like and share, and not like and well, if you want to, please share. Like and
Please.
subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so if you want to hear more from us. And also, please do that so that we don't get voted off the channel. Once again, this has been Chief Pistac Joel Barcon.
Juxtapotato this salad. Juxtapotato.
And we all hope that you stay safe, everyone. The Titos have spoken.